So, in the past 2 days, we have been in Kampong Cham, which is part of our service project while we're here for Discovery Week in Cambodia.
Yes, so we worked with BSDA, which is Buddhism for Social Development Action, and basically it was this man who used to be a monk, and he left the monkhood to open this project which helps kids who are abused or have problems in their families, or just kids who don't have families, or even kids who are in really poor places and that don't get the chance to have clothes or be educated or get food. And this BSDA really gives them the opportunity to learn new skills and become sustainable.
Yeah. And so what we've been doing in the past 2 days was to build trenches and to also cover some of the finished trenches which is for their water line, because they're building lime trees. And so we had to build the trenches to put the water pipe in so it's secure. And so yeah, we're just gonna...
Yeah, the project has been going on for a while because other groups who work with rustic pathways already started it. And so they had already done quite a lot, but we were just a continuation of the project. Yeah, I know, it was good. It was very different than the typical service thing that you would think, because when you think of service, you can often think of like either teaching the kids or even just like building a room and mixing cement. So this was like, it was really new, and I think that we learned a lot of skills in terms of agriculture as well, and how things are made and how people work in Cambodia, and definitely what we were able to experience to some extent what the people do and what happened during the Khmer Rouge in some extent, because they had to work for 12 hours straight without the possibility of taking a break. We were able to take a break, but because we were able to see how hard the work is, and so we can imagine how it was like for the people in the Khmer Rouge.
And I think each of us personally, I guess we have our own experiences with the project itself, because for me, and I guess for the both of us, the first day was very difficult because obviously the weather played a really big part, but I feel like part of our mentality as well played a big part, because I'm just gonna speak for myself, but for me, I felt like, there will be other groups coming, and you don't have to work too hard, and even the teachers and the specialists just go in your own pace. But I guess I kind of took that too seriously, to a point where all of a sudden I'm working too hard, and then I suddenly got dehydrated, and so then my emotions and emotionally and physically I just wasn't doing well. And so basically the second half of the day, I guess the entire group,
for me, the first day was definitely interesting because, like Dita said, we both had sort of dehydration problems, but I think my reason was a bit different than hers, because I knew that we were going to be the only group of students plus a few Cambodians. But during the first half, we were I was doing trenches, so we were still in the shade more or less, because we had trees already somewhat all around. But for the second half, when I was in the sun, I feel like I wasn't really paying attention to my body, because I really wanted to work and get it done, since we only had 2 days at the service itself. I think I really wanted to do as much as I could, which made me end up do less, because of the heat and the stroke thing. So that was kind of disappointing,
but I guess something that we really did pick up was just building those relationships with the Cambodian children, because the first day it was still kind of awkward, and there was this huge language barrier, just a huge language barrier, that it was just so hard to talk and to communicate with them.
It usually consisted of smiling and
nodding.
smiling
and nodding. And so I guess that kind of just made you back off just a little bit. But on the second day, I felt like, because we kind of know them more and they know us more, so they kind of opened up a little. Like, even though their English wasn't perfect, they tried their hardest.
And our Khmer wasn't perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So they tried their hardest, we tried our hardest, and so all of a sudden, like, for me, I suddenly know this girl, like, way more than I did on the first day. And so for me, I guess that was kind of like a big lift up.
Well, for me, the first day, I was a group leader at some point, so I really had to try my best to communicate with everyone, whether it was people who were from ABA or people who were from the BSDA. So, yeah, I agree with Dita. Like, it was definitely really, really hard. But, personally, I think that I tried my hardest to communicate with them, and I think that altogether with the Khmer people and with us, we did get a lot of work done on the first day, and I think that was a big achievement. Personally, my expectations were a lot higher, I think, so I was expecting us to do a lot more. So at the end of the day, it was a little bit of a disappointment for me, but like, when I look at it now, like, I do see what it's going to do for the future.
Yeah.
So it is, like, I'm proud of what we've done the first day.
But I think, like, one of the biggest life learning lessons, because I was just talking about this with another friend, is that when we're in school and we're still in, like, first period or second period, we're like, oh my god, I'm so tired. But then you come here and you see all these people work and what they have to go through every single day in the heat. You kind of just, you take a step back and you just realize, you know what, like, as of right now, you should just be grateful. Like, I should be grateful for what I have. And, because some people are just not as advantaged as you are. And so sometimes it's just important to take a step back and realize that there are people out there in the world who have to go through this, and they haven't given up at all. And so I guess that gave us a little bit more encouragement as well.
Yeah, it's a reminder in a way.
Yeah.
And then day 2, which was today.
Yeah.
Today was pretty, like, good.
Yeah,
today was really fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So good.
So in the morning, we all started by covering the pipes that we put in the trenches that we had made the other days. And that was pretty successful. One group did a part that was already done from before, and then another group did the one that we had done. So that was pretty successful, I'd say.
Especially because I know for my group, even though we were really slow in the beginning, the last 20 minutes we managed to literally cover almost the entire line, which was absolutely amazing.
You guys were amazing.
So it was so much fun. Like, suddenly we just realized, oh my gosh, like, we're finally working as a team, and it was great. But then also after lunch, I think that was just to be with the kids themselves instead of just being in the environment where you're working and you have to do this and you have to do that. Just to socialize with them was incredible.
I think that was definitely my favorite part, because you got to interact with the kids and create these bonds, and there's so many students like us who visit them, and they're so used to people like us just visiting them and then leaving, but somehow, like, I feel like when we come, no matter who it is, it always gives them a sign of hope.
Yeah.
And even if they get new people, like, every week, they're always, like, as excited to see everyone. Like, when we arrived, we've had at least, like, 30 kids around our van, and then each of them wanted to hold our hands, and for me that was kind of shocking, though, because you wouldn't imagine it being that way, because they see people from different schools nearly every single week. So I think that really shocked me, but it did give me, like, a big effect. I learned a lot from these kids as well. They were so positive and so hopeful.
Yeah, it just shows that you don't have to have money, and just you don't need to have, like, everything in order to be happy. Just to see them, like, if you saw them today, you can tell from, like, the clothes they're wearing, just like their physical.
They're limited.
Yeah, they're very limited, like, very limited sources.
Yeah,
but then they're just, like, their emotional mentality, like that emotional and mental side of them, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just so positive, and so that kind of makes me feel very happy. So yeah, I guess as of right now, that's definitely the highlight of this entire trip.
Yeah, and I think like it definitely reminds us that even like if we have something bad that happens to us, some people always have it worse, and like no matter what happens to us, we should always stay hopeful. Like they were hopeful, and like the Khmer people were after the Khmer Rouge, they became like so hopeful and positive, and they would not do anything like bad. Like they didn't kill Pol Pot. They just couldn't do it because they didn't want to recreate what he did, and I think that that's something that we should definitely learn from them, like the Cambodian people in general, because a lot of us, if someone does something to us, we like to get revenge to some extent, and they don't. And for me, that was really like a big lesson.
A huge lesson.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What do you think about like in general what we've done so far?
Oh gosh, it was definitely very life-changing, and there were a lot of lessons learned. So I mean, it's not just, you know, the people you meet and the things you do, but it's just the country itself. Like just driving through the city, you can tell that this country has been through a lot, but yet there's still, you know, they still have this, what do you call it?
There's
like,
mentality.
yeah, there's positive attitude,
and they're like, they keep on going forward.
Exactly.
They keep on developing
Yeah.
and increasing their skills.
Yeah, you can tell like this is a developing country, but even with that, they're
trying hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Which like it works.
It's
They get a lot
It's
done.
really good.
Yeah, like I think in a couple of years, maybe like 20 years, they'll become like a really developed country.
Yeah,
With all their hard work. You know?
definitely. It's possible.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
This trip was possible.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah, I really liked
Amazing.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I think
Yeah.
we would recommend it for next year.
Yeah. Definitely recommend it for next year.
100%.
So yeah.
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 I
Cool.
think it's
Yeah.
been a good experience.
Amazing experience. Bye.